Hey guys, Mrs. Kucha here. Today I'm going to be talking to you about fairy tales and reading you one. All week you've been doing different activities that have to do with fairy tales. So here's a little bit of information about what a fairy tale is. A fairy tale is a make-believe story that usually starts with once upon a time and ends with they lived happily ever after. A lot of times in fairy tales, animals will act like humans, and there's usually a good guy and a bad guy. You're going to get a chance to write your own fairy tale this week, so I thought I'd read one to you. The fairy tale I'm going to read today, you've probably heard it before. The Three Little Pigs. Here we go. Once upon a time, when pigs spoke in rhyme and monkeys chewed candy, and hens took snuff to make them tough, and ducks went quack, 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 oh. There was an old sow who had 3 little pigs. Now this wise mother pig knew that the time had come for her children to be out on their own. And even though it saddened her greatly to do so, she packed each one of a lunch and sent the 3 little pigs off to seek their fortunes. Tiny eyes wept salty tears as the little pigs left the homey comforts of trough and sty. With a final oink and a sob, each walked through the gate and out into the wide world. The first little pig to leave home soon met a man on the road who was carrying a load of straw. "Please, Mr. Man, will you give me that straw so I can build myself a house?" asked the pig. The man did so, and the pig set to work, building himself a house of straw. When he finished, he was quite pleased with himself and sat in the shade of a tree to enjoy his lunch. Suddenly, a wolf came down the road, and in an instant, the little pig was inside his house. As the door bolt snapped shut, the pig breathed a sigh of relief. But then there was a loud knock on the door, and he heard the wolf say, little pig, let me come in." To which the pig answered, "Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin." "Well," said the pig, showing his teeth, "then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." Then the wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the house in. Luckily, the little pig safely scrambled through the swirling straw and quickly ran off across the countryside. Meanwhile, the second little pig had met a man on the road who was carrying a bundle of sticks. "Please, Mr. Man," said the little pig, "will you give me the bundle of sticks so I can build myself a house?" The man did so, and the pig set off to work at once, building himself a house of sticks. When he had finished, he made himself a hammock and lay in the shade to enjoy his lunch. Suddenly, his brother appeared, running up the hill, waving his arms and crying that the wolf was close behind him. No sooner had the 2 little pigs scrambled into the house of sticks than indeed the wolf appeared. There was a loud knock, and the wolf said, little pigs, let me come in." To which the pigs answered, "Not by the hair of our chinny chin chins." "Well," said the wolf, "then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house in. Luckily, the little pigs scurried through the swirling sticks and together scampered into the countryside. Meanwhile, the third little pig had met a man on the road who was carrying a load of bricks. "Please, Mr. Man," the little pig said, "will you give me those bricks so I can buy myself a house?" The man did so, and the little pig immediately set to work, building himself a house of bricks. When he had finished, he was quite happy with himself, and he sat down to enjoy his lunch before beginning to dig his garden. Suddenly, his little brother could be seen running down the road, waving their hands and calling to him, "Drop the hoe, do not stay, the wolf will blow your house away." But the third little pig said, "Come inside, double quick, my little house is made of bricks." In a moment, all 3 little pigs stood behind the locked door of the brick house. And indeed, after a short time, the wolf appeared. There was a loud knock at the door, and he said, little pigs, let me come in." To which the pigs replied, "Not by the hair of my chins." "Well," said the wolf, "then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in." So he huffed and he puffed and he puffed and he huffed, but he soon learned that with all of his huffing and puffing, he could not so much as even loosen a shingle off the little pig's brick house. "Little pig," said the wolf, catching his breath, "I know where there is a wonderful field of turnips." "Really?" said the third pig. "Is that so? Please tell us where we should go." "Oh," said the wolf, smiling to himself, "in Mr. Smith's field. If you'd like, I will come by tomorrow and we can walk over there together." With a wink and a smile to his brothers, the pigs replied, "I was wrong. You're a nice guy. Just let me know what time you'll drop by." "Let's make it 6, said the wolf, and he slinked off down the road. Well, the little pigs got up at 5, went out, picked the turnips, and returned home just before the wolf arrived. "Ready to go?" the wolf asked sweetly through the closed door. "Ready? Heck, we're all done. We got up before the sun," laughed the little pigs. The wolf's eyes widened, and he gritted his teeth in anger. But being a sly fellow, he held his breath and waited a moment. Then, as sweetly as before, he said, "Well, little pigs, let's not dwell on the past. I know a wonderful apple tree nearby. Why don't we go over there and pick apples together?" "Delightful! Yes, let's go. Tell us where so we will know," said the third little pig. "At Merry Garden," said the wolf. "So no tricks now, and I'll see you at 5. Well, once again, the third little pig got his brothers out of bed an hour early, and they headed off to pick apples, hoping to get back before the wolf arrived at the door. But the wolf was not easily fooled this time, and the pigs saw him coming while they were still high in the tree. "Little pigs, what a surprise to find you here so early," said the wolf, smiling. "Tell me, are the apples good?" "Good, they're great," called the third little pig. "I'll toss one down if you'll just wait." And so he did, but the apple went over the wolf's head and rolled into the bushes, and the wolf ran off to find it. In a twinkle, the pigs climbed down from the tree, and they were halfway home before the wolf realized that he had been tricked again. Later, back at the pig's front door, the wolf had another outing in mind. "Little pigs, what a shame we keep missing each other," said the wolf. "There is a fair in Shinkling this afternoon. What do you say we walk over together and spend the day?" They agreed to meet at 1. So once again, the pigs set out much earlier than arranged. They were at the fair and bought a butter churn. On the way home, the pigs had to carry it on top of a hill when they saw the wolf coming. Not knowing what else to do, they climbed inside of the churn and rolled down the hill. The sight and sound of the wooden churn rolling towards him so frightened the wolf that he ran home without even going to the fair. Later at the pig's house, the wolf told the 3 little pigs how he had been frightened on the road by a rolling butter churn. "Ha, ha, old wolf, for a fool you've been, that butter churn was full of bacon." The wolf could hear the little pigs rolling on the floor in laughter. His patience was at its end. Leaping onto the roof, he shouted, "Enough is enough, little pig. Tonight you shall be my dinner." Immediately, the third little pig realized that the wolf was planning to come down the chimney. Placing a boiling pot of water over the fire, he stood back to wait. As the first bit of chimney soot fell onto the pot, the little pig removed the cover. Suddenly, the wolf came down the chimney and landed in the bubbling water with a splash. In an instant, the little pig replaced the cover and boiled the wolf up. That evening, the three little pigs danced and sang and dined on wolf stew, which was the custom in those days. They lived very happily in that little brick house, and perhaps they are living there still. The end. So I hope you enjoyed listening to that fairy tale, and this helps you come up with your own. As always, if you have any questions, just let me know. Bye.